Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. We are on the road. I'm actually in the back seat, so apologize for the light here being kind of half and half. But just wanted to once again keep our commitment for our weekly update from UZURV, from our team here at UZURV offices in lovely Scott's Addition, Richmond, Virginia. And I have the privilege today of riding with some of the other ops team. So I know that Matt has really been interested in getting some special guests on the Facebook Live each week. And so first, without further ado, Mr. Harold Franz, co-founder and vice president of UZURV, is here in the back seat with me. And then in the front seat, I've got Dr. Amjad. Dr. Amjad, who spent 3 weeks with me in doing the round trip tour throughout the country. And then special guest today in the front, and the driver there's the back of him, but that is Daryl Franz, a very close relation to Mr. Harold Franz, but Daryl is Harold's brother. And there's a diesel truck going by us with the brake. All right, a little bit of background noise on that one. But we're on our way to the airport right now, and we're going to be picking up a couple of rental vehicles and hitting the road. So tomorrow, expect to see Harold and Dr. Amjad in Baltimore and Philadelphia. So those of you that are tuning in from those two markets, look forward to meeting those guys up there. I know that getting these cities filled in the eastern seaboard is one of our main focuses, and then inching our way north of the Baltimore, Delaware, New Jersey area, eventually into New York City, and filling in the gaps between those areas and Boston, where we are currently open right now. So if I'm correct, we are at 63 markets as of today that are open, and we have quite a few that are on the springboard ready to launch within the next week or so. I know that Harold has not quite selected exactly which ones they will be, but look forward to numbers 64 and 65 hitting the list, and then moving on towards 100. We really want to ramp up the speed of opening the markets up as we approach the end of the year. I know that we had a goal of being over 100 markets, so let's see how close we can get to that, because we did slow down quite a bit while we worked with our development team on migrating our back-end server to make sure that the architecture that we build this app on is able to handle all the volume that you're all creating out there. So let's take a look at the comments real quick. I know Matt is on the road today. He's spending some time down at Virginia Tech, down in Blacksburg. So he was not able to be a guest on our live broadcast today, but appreciate all of you that are tuning in. Looks like we've got Leslie, David, Kelly, Brian, Mark, Steven, Justin in Denver, Raymond, David again. All right, and Jack Sordo. Hey Jack, how you doing? All right, Wesley Harris, thanks for all tuning in. So, you know, when we do this video each week, I know we've had a lot of topics that were repetitive, and you know, we're continually trying to drive home the same topics of understanding how the app works, understanding the importance of referring drivers and riders to the platform, understanding the how to navigate your way through the payout process, which I know has been a thorn in our side for a few months now. But you know, we want to change it up, and we definitely would love to hear some suggestions from you that are out there and tuning in, because we want to keep it real, but we want to keep it interesting as well, and we don't want to necessarily hammer the same points home over and over. But we do have new drivers joining us every single week, and you know, I definitely want to make sure that we're utilizing the resources that are out there for those that maybe don't understand everything that is UZURV at this point, or didn't go through the learning curve of having to understand the app from the early days of the beta test. So number one is, please invite all the drivers that you know to join UZURV for Drivers Facebook group, which is the group that this video is posted on. We've taken that the population, or the number of people in that group, from about 350 to almost 1,500 in a matter of a month or so. So, you know, we could easily expect to have 3,000 in very short future, or very not too distant future, I should say. And second is the UZURV channel on YouTube. The videos, you know, my personal opinion and the way that I prefer to learn is visually. I'm a visual learner. I like to see things demonstrated, and if somebody can show me once, I'm gonna give it a pretty good run myself in doing it when I give it a try. So seeing the app, seeing how it's downloaded, seeing how it operates, really helps someone like me understand it, versus being told over the phone or reading a blog on a website. So, you know, we've got two options there. Number one is the support group of UZURV for Drivers, which is real drivers that have real questions. And don't forget that all of the operations team that are in the car with me here are drivers as well, for Uber or Lyft or both. And, you know, we want to answer all the questions that come up. And the 1,500 people that are on this drivers forum are all drivers, and they're all interested in UZURV. And some are having fantastic results, and some are struggling. So it's a support group that's built from within on people that have a common interest. So invite your fellow driver. The visual learners, the YouTube channel or the UZURV channel on YouTube is great for them. So between both of those, the meet and greets that we're doing, like Harold Amjad are going to be doing tomorrow in Baltimore and Philadelphia, you know, seeing face to face. I don't know when the last time was you saw someone face to face from Uber or from Lyft, for that matter, that wasn't a mentor who was a fellow driver in your market. It just doesn't happen. So, you know, while we're, you know, I say hopefully, but while we're small enough, and hopefully as a core principle of what our company is based on, we want to be approachable and accessible to the drivers. So please take advantage of it when we're in your market, or if you've got issues, things that you want to get resolved, or you have suggestions on how we can make it better, please let us know. So we've had some real successful outcomes, you know, I want to share with you through our support desk, which is our third vehicle for support for the drivers. Is, you know, if you're having a problem, you're not sure why you didn't get paid, or you don't understand what incentive means, or you just pushed the wrong button and canceled on your rider instead of hitting no-show, whatever the reason is, use our support team and support@uzurv.com, or utilize my preference, which is the feedback option in the app menu for both rider app or driver app, and communicate with them, communicate with us, because we all monitor what's going on in our own support desk. We understand the trends, we know where the hot buttons are, and our development team is actively involved in addressing the shortcomings of the app in relation to functionality. So communicate through that method to get the support, get the answers that you need. Each day, there's a handful of drivers that are contacted one-on-one. You know, if they say, hey, I want someone to call me, you know, try that with one of the larger TNCs. It just doesn't happen. But you know what? We try to make a point that if someone says, hey, I want you to call me and I want you to walk me through screens 1, 2, and 3 of this app, you know, we can't always do it, but you know what? We try to do it. So if we have somebody out there that needs a little extra help, extra attention, we can help them, or we can connect them with a contact person in one of the markets and get them taken care of. But message there is support, making sure that you get your questions answered and that you feel that you're getting the attention that you need. We talked about some of the growth vehicles and things that we're looking at, and there's some real exciting things on the horizon. So I think in the last couple videos I talked a little bit about some of the things we're trying out with some hospitality partners, aka hotels. And just imagine if, you know, the hotels in your market were generating requests for their guests in UZURV. Okay, the possibilities of that. Number 2 is think about medical offices that have people that need transport to and from their appointments, or to and from their houses, or whatever the situation is. But there's a lot of need out there for specialized transportation, and what if there was an ability to schedule those requests in advance, and schedule those requests in advance with a driver that has taken some initiative to get certified by the organization that's asking for the transportation, right? There's some opportunity out there for us to do some really interesting things, so I'll just tease with that right away and let you kind of do the connecting the dots on those. But we're behind the scenes, we're working on growing this business. We're about 2 minutes away from the airport here, where we're going to jump out and have to deal with the rental car situation. But I appreciate you all tuning in. If there's any comments that pop up down below, I'm going to take a real quick look at those. And last but not least, before I do that, I just want to once again thank everybody for your participation, for jumping in to watch the videos. I make a point to jump on here every week, and sometimes I need some help, and I know our buddy Chris in operations has jumped in and helped me out with filling in, and he does another segment on Thursdays. But appreciate you tuning in, appreciate all your feedback, and most importantly, your patience as we develop this app into one of the coolest things that come along in this whole rideshare industry. So just seeing who else jumped in here. We got Bill up in Indy, Marie Martin, thanks for joining in. TJ's on, Frederico's on. All right, Ray is on, and the other Ray is on. We got a couple of Rays here. All right, and Mark Stevens saying, be safe, guys. And thank you very much. I will say the same back to you, is be safe. Sorry that today's video was really short, but we are going to be looking for kind of doing some things a little differently and getting some new faces on the video starting next week. We'll see what we can pull together in short time. I'm like half in the sun and half in the shade here, so as we make a slight turn, the lighting should get better. There we go. All right, anyway, appreciate you all tuning in. You can kind of see the Richmond airport entrance in the background there, and we'll catch up with you next week. Hey, everybody, say goodbye. Harold, bye.
Thank you. Bye.